So lots of people ask about what temperature should the room be, and we usually sit the room about 21 to 22 degrees. But remember, babies can cope in lots of different environments and lots of different conditions. Using a fan in the summer is a great way of circulating the air and cooling the baby down. And in the winter, just a little bit of warmth. You're just taking the edge off the room temperature or bringing the room temperature up. But I think the thing we have to remember is adjusting their clothing and their blanketing, and remembering that babies survive in lots of different climates all over the world. So a lot of parents ask us about when can I start a routine with my baby? And routines are very specific in terms of timing, and we really can't do that till our baby is sleeping well overnight and has a familiar start to their day and end to their day. So what I'd like to get across to new parents is to create a rhythm of behaviour. So an early rhythm of behaviour in a very young child would be feed and sleep. And as they grow older, around the 6 to 12 week mark, they go into a pattern called feed, play, sleep. These rhythms, as they mature, will eventually become a routine. So a lot of people ask us, when will my baby sleep through the night? And it can be as early as 12 weeks, but more commonly it's between 7 and 12 months of age. Sleep matures across the first year of their life, and sleep gets better from about 6 weeks of age. So it's about them sleeping well, not how fast they sleep through the night, but most commonly it happens between 7 and 12 months. So we've got wraps and swaddles, and when we go shopping for a baby we can be overwhelmed with all that there is. So a wrap is a piece of material, and we often use it in the early weeks with our babies, up to about 6 to 9 weeks. And the wrapping is important because it calms and quietens the baby, but it allows the hand to come up to suck, to show us our feeding cues. And that audible suck, they have to get their hand to their mouth to be able to do it. But as they mature and we get better at recognising the feed cues, then parents will choose to use a swaddle, which is more shaped, has a zip, or it sticks using rip and tear. And these can be used from when the baby's about 6 to 9 weeks old, or over about 5.5 kilos. A lot of parents ask us about, how do I know when my baby needs to go to sleep? And generally we use the tide signs of a baby, and when they're very new, these are difficult to pinpoint. So in the new beginnings, in the first 3 weeks, we tend to use the feed-sleep cycle. So your baby's awake for the period of the feed, and then if you cuddle them, they'll go to sleep. As the baby matures and gets older, the baby will show much more distinct tired signs. Things such as rubbing the eyes, yawning, disengaging, jerking movements and crying. After a period of calmness will indicate that our baby now needs sleep. So when it comes to dressing the baby, we use the summer babies and the winter babies is the easiest way to do it. In the summer, babies wear one less layer than we have on, and in the winter they wear one more layer than we have on. So in the summer, if I've got a t-shirt on and I'm hot, that little baby's going to wear a singlet and a nappy. And in the winter, if I have a t-shirt on and I go and put a jumper on, then that baby's going to wear a singlet, a onesie and a cardigan to keep them warm. At home, you probably take the cardigan off and you're going to wrap them, so that's an extra layer. So in terms of dressing and undressing, use yourself. So if you're warming up, then go check your baby might need to take something off. If it's getting cooler in the autumn at night, you might have to put something more on. So that using yourself and putting one layer on and removing one layer really gets you in the right place for how to dress a baby. So in the antenatal period, when we see people, they often ask us, what do we need to buy? And as you know, when you go into any baby shop, you can be very overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that you need for a baby. So I put it down to a few categories. The big ticket items that I would put my money into is the cot that's going to last you for 2.5 years, a pram that's going to last you all of your children, and a car seat that meets the Australian standards. And from there, the other places that you need to find things for your baby is, we've got to get some sleep So you might be choosing between a bassinet or do I put it straight into a cot. Bathing, so a typical, just a simple baby bath and a change mat with some towels for the bathing space for your baby. And the last one, which a lot of people ask about, is clothing. How much clothing do I need? So we usually start off with the answer of about 6 to 8 pieces of clothing in the very small sizes. So something like 4 O's and 3 O's, as well as some wraps to wrap our baby to help them with their sleep. And remembering that in the summer you're going to need a hat and some shade for the baby, and in the winter they might need a little bonnet and some thicker blankets to keep them warm. So it is easy to buy a lot, but actually when we first start out we don't need a lot, we get given a lot. So go with the very basics and then build on it once you have your baby.